Okay, there we go. And so again, just to reiterate, yeah, so this is Mission Africa here, and you can find all the videos here. So again, if you guys have any questions today, feel free to just stop me as I'm going through the material and raise your hand. Whatever you want to do, you can type it in the message chat there. Whatever's easiest for you. I want to make sure that today is a useful class for you guys. Right now, you should be seeing my yep, you should be seeing my PowerPoint over here. And again, of course, PowerPoint is used to, usually present information, maybe in a classroom setting, at a church setting. It's usually a speaker up in front, and they're, speaking about whatever their topic is. And so we're going to be wrapping up this today. It
Hello,
should be
Mr.
a,
Hunter.
oh, hello, how are you?
Hi,
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here to get some more. I love it.
thank you.
All of my attendees, you guys are committed. I love it. You guys come during the weekend. You come on the Thursday too. Join me here virtually. Again, this is recorded. I would love it if you guys would check out our YouTube page. Like, subscribe, add some comments on the videos, whatever you like. I think that'd be fantastic. So this one will be posted later today, once the recording is done. I'll post it up onto the Mission Africa YouTube page for anyone who wants to review, or you can even send it to friends and family if you want them to take a look at it.
Yeah, I was just on it today anyway.
Oh, good, 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 good.
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Yeah. If you got any feedback too, feel free. So again, today's class is really to prepare you to get, just make sure we understand some of the basic and the intermediate skills with Microsoft PowerPoint. And so I'll be going over quite a bit today in the recording. I will go a little bit faster than I normally would today, again, because this is recorded and I know you can go back and you can review it, and that way I can get in a little bit more material. If I just speed up just a little bit, and you guys can go back and review in your own time if you need. But again, feel free to stop me and ask any questions if there's something that I do that you don't understand. And so we'll go ahead with that. And so this is PowerPoint. So we'll start off talking about etiquette today. I want to talk a little bit about PowerPoint etiquette. This is very important, right? Because if you don't have good etiquette on your PowerPoint, it's not going to be a good experience for the folks who are listening to you present your information. And so right here, when you first look at this slide, we're just going to go through a bunch of slides and we're going to correct them and make them better. When you look at this slide right here, what do you see this wrong? Or does it look good to you? Like, what's your opinion? I want your guys' thoughts.
You mean the first slide?
Yes, the slide that we're looking at here says finding jobs. What do you guys think about this slide? Is this a good
I,
slide?
The color?
I think it's not good.
What do
The
you not like about it? The color. I hear the color.
The color and the print is too small and stuff like that.
So for a title slide like this, a title slide is normally your first slide when you start a presentation. It's typically really good etiquette to have not a lot of information on your title slide. You really just want to have the name of the presentation, whatever it's going to be, and maybe a little bit of subtext with some detail about what you're going to be talking about for the day. So in this case, we have finding jobs. It's really small, and even the color's not great. So what do you guys think we want to do here? You like, tell me what we want to fix to make this better for the customer.
I think we should fix the title,
Okay.
including the including that one, the one at
Okay.
down.
So tell me what to do and I'll do it.
I think you
first of
should.
all, for me, is color because I can barely read what information is here.
Right. Right. So does anybody remember how to change the color and the size of the text here for finding jobs?
Yeah, you just highlight.
Okay.
And you go to there, up there. I don't know what you call those icons. I'm sorry, I was not in the other class.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
right there.
Increase font. Yes. So
Yeah,
right here,
increase font right
when I
there.
put my mouse over this big A, so notice you have a little A. If you have the little A, it's going to decrease your font. I'll click that and see it's going to make it smaller. If I click increase font, and also notice that this number here goes up, this is the font number. So as I hit the big A, it will continue to increase. Let me know when you think we've got a good size.
That's good. Yeah,
I think that's good. 166, right? No
yeah,
problem.
that's
And
good.
then right here, where you have this A
The,
with the color under it, if I put my mouse over that, notice that
the
it says font
front color.
color. So your font is everything to do with your text. So that's just another word for text. And here we have a lot of options, right? So this is our font right here. We can actually even change the font. There's lots of different fonts here that we have available. Um, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so we can just see some of these other fonts here. We have Algerian. We have like a bold one here. I like that one. It's nice and bold. I'm actually going to select that. So I'm going to change the font to that. It gets a little bit big. So I'm going to move this down. And then I'm going to move this down. Uh-oh. I'm going to move this down. There we go. So now it all fits. And so, and then I'm going to actually change the color,
Yeah,
right?
change the
I
color.
think this yellow is not great. What color do you
Yeah,
guys think?
the yellow is not good. We want black.
Brown, let's go with black. Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
think black
much
will be
better.
okay.
That looks so much better, doesn't it? I like that. So how about the same thing for down here, right? Probably want to go
The
with
same
some
thing,
black,
black.
right? Yep. So I'm going to just go here again, back up to font color at the top, and I'm going to hit black. And what do you guys think? How we looking? We feeling good about the first slide now?
No.
I think we can make this one a little bigger.
Okay, here at
The
the
one
bottom.
at down. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to select it. So again, I'm just right clicking at the end, and then I just hold down my mouse and I move all the way to the beginning. It's going to select everything. And then notice it also pops up here.
Yep.
So I can go ahead and just hit up, up, up. And
That's
that's
cool.
pretty good right there.
That's great.
And I'm just going to kind of move it. You know, you can move it around. To move your text boxes around, you always have to select somewhere in the text box. And then it gives you these, you see this border here? I should move this up so everything is actually in the border.
That's one of the things that I had problem when I was taking the stuff last week. I mean this week. They had a print, I think front print, something like that. This like move it. They said move it from in this stuff, and then I was finding this one how difficult to move it.
Yeah,
I
So
saw
the
it. I'm
key to
like, oh
moving
yeah.
it is to get to click in the box. So let's say I want to move this one. I click in the box, and then when I go to the border, now if I go here, if I go to any one of these little white circles on the edges, that's going to allow me to make the box bigger or smaller. But if we want to move, if we want to move the box, then we want to just come to the edge here. And notice when I come to the edge of the box, it gives me that black plus sign. Do you see that? When you get that black plus sign, then you can click and hold. And this is a left click and hold. And then you can move it around to get it wherever you want. So you can move it over here, you can move it over here. I'm just holding down my left click. And when you release it, it'll drop it. So there we are. So that's slide one, finding jobs, nice and big. And I like it. Okay. Let's see. Let's go here now. What do we think about this slide? So this is just a slide on steps to finding a job, and it's got 4 different bullet points. What do we think about this slide? Do you guys like this one? Is it too much information? Not enough information? What do we think?
I think the information is okay, but we need to zoom this what is it stretch for search for job, and even
This here, this
yeah
part?
we need to increase that a little bit,
Yeah.
and
So I'm
then
just
we'll
gonna
come down here and
grab
then
it again.
increase it to the same thing.
Let's just increase steps to finding a job.
Yeah.
I don't know how much bigger we're gonna be able to get with these bullet points. Let's see. If we get too big, we're gonna bump into our pictures. So I'm gonna leave this one alone. I like this slide.
That's okay like that.
So this slide is what your typical PowerPoint slide should look like. It should have a nice, strong, bold title up top. And then we should have a couple bullet points because normally for a PowerPoint, the speaker is going to be expanding on each one of these points. So this is just a supplement to the speaker, giving you something to look at. And then the speaker typically will say, hey, let's talk about searching for jobs. Here's all the things you need to know about searching for jobs. These are the websites. These are all the things you need to do. Then he'll say, then the second step is you need to apply for jobs. And then he'll start talking about how to apply for jobs and the different places you can apply. Go to LinkedIn, go to these places. And then he'll talk about interviewing and then accepting the offer. So really the PowerPoint is really just a supplement to the speaker. It should not have, long sentences or paragraphs on your PowerPoint. A PowerPoint is just to supplement the speaker, okay? So I think this slide's good to go. All right, what do we think about this one? Teresia, what do you think about this one? Do you like this slide, or is it, what do you think?
If I was the one doing this, I could just put this picture on top, and then there's information at the side. I don't on top and occupy like everything. If the picture must be there, I should put the picture aside, and then this information down.
Okay, is this big enough? Do you think this is big enough?
Yeah. The heading is okay. Step to finding a job is okay, and the way the information is given is okay.
Okay. What do you
to overrule the page?
Again, normally it's one thing I suggest is, and this is kind of standard, is you don't want to have a lot of extra space. You really want to take up the space that's on the slide when you can. So I would suggest in this case, this is a little small, right?
Yes,
Compared to this one right here. See how it's nice and bold. It's easy to see. You don't have to squint. So on this one, I'm going to suggest that we just select everything again, and let's increase the font. Let's just make it a little bigger. It doesn't have to be huge, but just take up a little bit more space, make it a little easier to read. And then I think we're good here on this one. What do you guys think about this one? It's the same slide.
Yeah,
but they changed the color.
Oh, like that. The color is so dull and stuff like that.
Right. We want to go with a dark color, right? Something that's
Yeah.
a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to change the font color again. And again, there's two ways to do it. You can highlight by just dragging across and highlighting everything, or you can just click here. And when that line around the text box goes solid, right? So when I click in there, notice it's not a solid line. But when I click the edge, it turns solid. Now I can come up here and it's just like I selected everything, but with the drag and drop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's two ways to select the text. Go ahead.
Okay, like the way you highlight it like that. So what they got a step to find a job. Okay, like that. So how can you take it from inner box with highlight it like that?
How did I select it?
Yeah, like for example, this step to find job is highlighted in the box, and then they asking you to take it from to take it from out of the box. So how can you do that?
To take this,
be highlighted because it was on the test. It was highlighted like that, and then they said to get it out of the box.
Oh yeah.
So that's
right.
why.
So let's say I wanted to. Yeah. It's just a cut and paste. So I remember that question on the test now. So let's say you wanted to take 4 jobs and you wanted to move it down here after apply, right? I think that was what the question was, right? So if you just highlight this part, you can come up here.
It was already highlighted.
Okay, well, if it's already highlighted, then all you have to do is hit cut. You see these scissors up here under the home menu, you have cut.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so that removes the selection. It puts it on the clipboard, and you won't see it on the clipboard. So I'm going to go ahead and click it, and it's going to disappear. So I hit cut, and then it takes it away. Okay. I kind of messed up. Hold on one second. Let me get back. Okay. So then I can come here. So now I come down to 2, and if I hit paste, it puts it right there. So I just cut it from up here, and then I pasted it down here. Okay. So it's just using these 2 functions up here. Yeah.
Okay, that's good because I actually saw it, but I was somehow confused. Like I went to that scissor stuff and I'm like, I hope I'm doing the wrong thing. So I'm like, I'm like, you know what? Let me go to a different one.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's a little bit of a tricky one, but yeah, it's just cut and paste. So yeah, once you highlight what you want to cut, You just highlight, hit cut, bring it down, put your cursor wherever you want it to actually paste. When you have your cursor, so you see that blinking cursor there after apply, that's where
Yep.
it's going to insert when you hit insert. So then you hit
Okay.
paste. When you hit paste, it's going to insert it right there. So I'll do it one more time. It's a little bit
Okay.
tricky with bullets, but I'm going to go
I
ahead and
see.
cut.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to come down here. You see the blinking cursor. I'm going to hit
Mhm.
paste. And then it always adds an extra bullet in there. You just delete it. And there you go.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yep.
thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome. So I'm gonna go ahead and just finish up. I'm gonna make sure we get everything in black. Also notice here that the bullets on this one stayed gray. So one way to fix that is you can just again select the entire box, and then we can come up here to the bullets tab. So notice there's numbering. So these are numbers. They're not bullets. So these are numbers. So I just come over to where we have numbering. If I can hit the down arrow, we can go to bullets and numbering, and see here it has the color of gray. So we want to turn that black also, and then hit OK. And now notice that my numbers went from gray to black also. So now everything is nice and uniform. Everything looks good. I think this slide's good to go. All right. What about this one? What do we think about this one?
Alex. Mhm.
It's in italics, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally you just want plain text. You know, this. I mean, maybe if you were making like a food menu at an Italian restaurant and you wanted to make it fancy, then yeah, okay, you could do italics or something. But normally we don't want to do that. We just want to keep it basic. So again, I'm
Keep
just
it
going to.
going.
Yeah, I'm going to click the. Again, I click the box. So again, you can always select the entire thing, or you can just click that box when that line gets solid. You can come up here and notice this is a script. Anytime you see script in the name of the font, it's going to be that like italics looking stuff. So I'm just going to come down. I'm just going to, let's just find like a normal one. That one looks okay. We'll just go with that. Okay. What do we think about this slide? Keeping in mind some of the things we've talked about.
I think I got problem with that. The too much explanation. We
Right.
need to cut it down and stuff like that.
Right. Right. When I see slides like this, I know that
So I want to be
typically the
confused.
speaker's not very confident in their material, and they're reading the slide. So they do things like this. They say steps to finding a job, search for jobs. You can search for jobs online at job
Yeah.
fairs or by networking with people you know. Step 2, apply. And I'm like, I can read the slide. You know, I want you to give me some flavor to the context. I want you to add to it. I don't want you to read this slide as the presenter. I really want you to add some flavor. So typically I don't like to see slides like this.
Yeah.
It's too much information. You
Yeah.
should never see you shouldn't really see complete sentences on your slides. It should be something like this.
Mhm.
See that
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
This
That's
this
very
one's good.
short.
The only problem here is I think we got too many.
Too many pictures here.
Yeah, they're getting small, right?
Mhm.
So I'm going to erase 2 of them. I'm going to erase this one. So I just clicked it and I hit delete on my keyboard. So once you select it, again, you know it's selected because it's got the white buttons in the corner right there. So you can either hit delete on your keyboard or you can right click and you can just hit cut. You don't have to paste it. Just because you cut something, you don't have to paste it. So cutting will remove it from the slide. And then here, I'm just grabbing this one again. Anytime you see that plus sign, you can grab it and move it around, get it where you want. And then to expand it, you can always grab any of these edges. That edge will bring it out. This one will bring it down or up. If you click a corner, you can go down and to the right to make it kind of proportionate, right? Because if you only go down, it gets a little stretchy, doesn't it? If you only go left, it gets a little stretchy too. So normally when I'm expanding a photo, I use the corners and I'm going up and in or I'm going down and out.
Okay.
That way the picture doesn't end up just kind of looking funny. This one, I didn't do a good job. I'm going to kind of go back up a little bit. There we go. That looks a little bit more appropriate to me. Okay. What do we think about this one? What happened here? This one again, I think
I think I got, yeah,
this
problem
is
with
too
that.
small.
Yeah,
This is
that's
too
too
small, right?
small.
So I'm just going to
Yeah.
click again, and I'm going to increase font till it's
Yeah.
big enough. That's probably big enough right there. Not bad. As opposed to this one, right? Where they have this yellow wording over
Oh
here.
no.
That's just not good. You always want contrast. If you have a dark background, you want a light text. Oh, but over here they have a light background and a light text, and it's not a good combination. Notice here, light background, dark text. When you have light on light, you end up having a hard time being able to read this right here. So I would, of course, change this. And that's exactly what this slide is. So I won't change it, but we don't want light text on top of a light background. Same thing again here, we already talked about. So this one is
Yeah,
using like a script text. So notice again, dancing script. If I click over here, it's also dancing script. I don't like that. I want to kind of keep it from not looking so fancy. I want to just do copper black. So we're just going to do this. If you ever want to use a font that you've been using recently in the presentation, if you scroll, so notice that this box is in alphabetical order, right? Grotesque, Growth, Gulum. So there's just a bunch of different fonts. If you scroll all the way to the top above the A's, above the fonts for A, you have here the ones that you've recently used. Makes it a little easier to find. So you don't have to continue to, because there's a lot of fonts. So you can always just come here and find some of the ones you've been recently using, or you can just find like some of the basic ones. Arial's a very popular one. It's pretty plain, right? You know, not too hard to read and stuff like that. Okay. What do you guys think about this one?
I think that is not bad.
I don't think it's bad. Agnes, what do you think?
Yeah, that is not bad for me.
Oh,
What do you think about this slide?
I think it's good because every title seems like every picture is having its title under its title.
I like this one too. I like this one. I don't think we need to change anything, as opposed to this one. It's the same
Oh
information,
no.
networking, job fairs, and job search, but
Too
this
many
one
words.
just give
Yeah,
you some
but this
photos
one.
and some bullet points. This one's too much information. We don't want that much information. Too crowded. Okay. This one I like. This is another version of it. And then on some of our last slides here, again, this one, way too many photos, right? We've already used some of these photos. I've seen this photo a lot. So I'm going to actually delete this one because I don't want to keep seeing the same photo throughout my presentation. So I'm actually going to delete a few of these. We haven't seen this guy. I think he's coming from a job fair. We're going to delete those. And I'm just going to keep these two. And then we're going to expand these two. Right. So we're going to expand those two. And this isn't big enough either. So let's increase the font there. And we could probably make this bold, I guess. Maybe increase the font a little bit. Just gonna come down here. I'm gonna make this bold. What about italics? No. Underline? No. Do we want to change the color to red? Nah. Let's stay with black.
I
Just
think
keep it
black is
basic.
okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Same thing here, right? We've already talked about these. If you want to select multiple boxes at a time, you can hold down Control. So this one's selected right now, but if I want to change the font in both of these at one time, you can hold down the Control button on your keyboard and select the other one. Let's see if I can, yep. So now I got both selected. So now I can change the font for both at one time. And I'm just going to scroll up and I'm just going to do Arial. Just keep it basic. But this one, we want to make the title a little bit bigger, right? And let's do bold. There we go. Normally, again, I wouldn't like this much information. Maybe just send a resume, fill out an application, cover letter. It's a lot of information on this one. Here they did it really nice, but they again did make it really big enough. So we got our guy. It looks like he got the job, so he's happy. He's walking home to tell his wife he got a new job. But we want to make this a little bit bolder. Um, if we increase the font right now, so you see how wide this box is here. If we increase the font on this, it's going to end up getting in the way. See how I've got behind the picture now? It's kind of running off. If we bring this box back in like this, did you notice how it, and we actually lost a little bit. So if we bring that box back in, notice that it only lets it go this far and then it goes down. So that's an important one, because if you have a lot of text and you're coming out, you can end up running behind the photo. So I always just bring the box in, make sure it's not overlapping with the photo. And now you can see your text and you can see your photo. Now, of course, this text isn't done right. We just make it black there. And now we're good to go. Okay. So that's our PowerPoint etiquette class. That's the new material for today that I wanted to cover. So I just want to make sure you guys have, some etiquette. It's very important to, number one, keep your slides brief. You don't want a lot of information. Typically, we're working on bullet points, something like what we see right here. You want a nice, bold title to the page, and maybe one or two photos. Okay, gives people something to look at, right? Like this is a really good slide. I like this one. But you don't want too much information. You don't want to have light colors on light backgrounds. I think you guys have a pretty good understanding of what we're looking for there. Any questions on PowerPoint etiquette and building your PowerPoints? Nope. Okay. All right. I'm just going to do now. I'll do a quick review. I want to make sure that as you guys, this review is going to help you guys prepare for taking the Northstar training and the assessment for Northstar. I want to really encourage you guys to give that a shot. I think you guys will be surprised by how well you do. Let me go ahead and share what it looks like. I'm actually just going to pull this over. Yep. And I'm going to log in. So this is what you guys would want to do. If you want to take any classes, or if you want to take any assessments to see how you're doing, you can always navigate to digital literacy assessment. I'll put this in the chat. And when you get there, everyone on this call should have a login. If you don't, please just put it in the chat right now, or you could even reach out to me. This is my email address. I'm putting it in the chat right now. You can email me at info@summitsupportwa.com, and I'll make sure that you get set up with an account. But I'm going to go ahead and log into my personal account here at digitalliteracy.assessment.org, which is the website for Northstar, which is our training curriculum that we've been using. You always want to hit no if it says, are you physically at a Northstar location? Because we're not. So you just hit no there. You know that you're logged in when it says your name up here. So if you see your name up here, you're logged in. Okay. What I would encourage you guys to do is come here if you want to take a lesson on something, like let's say you want to take a lesson on PowerPoint. And this is, again, additional material that you can use on top of the YouTube videos that I showed you guys at the beginning of class. But you can always come here to PowerPoint. You can click on lessons. And if there's anything you want to learn, let's say you want to learn how to move and duplicate and delete slides, or you want to learn about transitions, right? You could just click here on moving, duplicating, and deleting slides, and it's going to open up a class on how to do that.
So just log into the same place, right? And then you can go practice.
Yes, you just need to log in to digitalliteracy.assessment.org.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Because
so so this one right here.
I want to do some practice. I was trying to log in, but somehow they were difficult.
Yeah, and once you log in, you should see where it says essential computer skills, and it has essential software skills. You can use, and you can even go ahead if you want. You can come on down here and do social media, information literacy, career search skills. There's lessons on all kinds of stuff. So feel free to explore on your own time and go through all of these. They're here and they are free. Okay. So let's talk about a couple different things. So I'm just going to go over again our review for the assessment for PowerPoint. Feel free to watch this video. It'll prepare you for taking the PowerPoint assessment in Northstar. So the
Yep.
first thing that I want to cover is how do you open PowerPoint? To open PowerPoint, if you, let's say you have documents like this, and let's see, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I'm still hearing you. I'm still there.
Okay. Like I got a message that there was maybe an issue with my audio. Okay. And so if you wanted
I'm
to
here.
open up, yeah, if you wanted to open up a PowerPoint, let's say you had these right here in front of you, all you have to do is double click. If you double click, anytime you see that icon there, it'll open up PowerPoint. So that's the easiest way to open PowerPoint right there. Let's see. To open a recent presentation, if you have PowerPoint open, you can always go to File,
The fire. Yeah.
and right here it says Recent. All of these are the recent PowerPoints that I've opened. So if I wanted to open the one called Dominican Republic, all I have to do is click it. So again, I'm here at Home and then Recent. So I just click Dominican Republic. It's going to open up the PowerPoint presentation that I made on Dominican Republic. So you don't even have to remember where you saved it at. This is a really nice feature. You can come to File and Recent, and it remembers all the recent documents that you've opened. Here's my mom's 75th birthday PowerPoint that I made, and it's got all her photos and her family photos and all kinds of fun stuff. Look at my mom back in the day, way back in the day.
Uh,
Yeah, and her
uh,
dad and all the family back in the day. I love putting together these PowerPoint slides. This
that's
is one of my
good.
favorite things to do in PowerPoint is to put together the slides. There's my mom. She was a cheerleader back in the day.
That's nice.
So it's really nice to be able to put together those PowerPoint slides. Um, let's talk about a place called the ribbon. This up here, so you see up here, you've got home and you have insert and you've got draw. I'm gonna actually close this PowerPoint. I'm just going to the Dominican Republic one. So you notice here you have home and insert and draw. This area up here where you have all these menu options, this is called the ribbon. And on the Northstar assessment, it's going to ask you where is the ribbon. The ribbon is the place that holds all of your icons. So you have, you can insert a shape, you can insert photos, you can even draw. You can change your fonts and things like we looked at earlier, all from the ribbon. Okay, so that's the ribbon. This area over here on the left, this is your. Ooh, doesn't that look so good?
Excuse me, can you repeat that again? The ribbon
Yeah, the
up
ribbon is
again?
this area up top where you have all the different icons. So
Oh,
as I click through all of this, every time I click a different menu, I get a different ribbon, but this area is called the ribbon. So all this stuff up top is the ribbon.
okay.
Okay. Over here on the left side, I've got a couple different slides in my presentation. So this presentation has 5 slides in it. This area over here is called the slide navigation pane. So on the assessment, it'll say, where's the slide pane? The slide pane is where you actually um, edit your slides, right? So this area here, you're moving things around, you're centering them. This is the slide pane, but the slide navigation pane is where you can actually change the order of your slides. So let's say this is slide number 5 right here. Let's say I wanted to make this slide number 3. I just need to grab it. So click and hold, and I can just move it up in the slide pane and release it. And now it's slide number 3. If I want to move it back to slide number 5, can grab it. So I'm just clicking and holding. I'm left clicking and holding, and I can move it right back down to slide number 5. So that's how you reorder your slides. If you don't have a lot, if you do have a lot of slides, the other option is you can come down
So,
here to the
quick
bottom. Oh, go
question.
ahead. Yes, sir.
So the one that on the side like moving, so it's a slide, right?
Slide navigation
Oh,
pane.
slide navigation, and then the one that in here with the uh mashed potato, I don't know, mashed potato stuff is the slide pane.
Slide
Is that
pane.
is
Yes. Yes.
thank you.
Yes. Yes. And then the other way to change the order of your slides, let's say you had 20 or 30 or 40 slides, you could come here and there's some options down here at the bottom. We know about start slideshow. Right now we're in normal view, but if you go to slide sorter view, it'll just take up the whole page for all of your slides, and then you can move your slides around here. So again, I can click my slide, I can move it around. Let's say I want to move food to be the first slide. I can move things around here, okay? And then to get back to that other view, we can just go down here again, and we're already in slide sorter view. Now we want to go back to normal view. And now we have our slide pane again, right here in the middle, the main area where we're working on our slides. But over here on the left, we've again got the slide sorter, okay? All right, so let's say let's say we're on a slide here and we have a blank slide. I'm just going to delete these boxes. So let's say we wanted to make this slide, we wanted to change the layout and make it like a, a slide that has, we can just go to layout and we can actually just look at our options. So right now we're on a blank slide, but if we go to the home tab here in the ribbon, go to home, and then we come to layout, it tells us all of our different options. One of the most popular ones that we see is title and content. That one's just going to have a title area and then an area for some bullets, right? Bullet 1, right? Bullet 2. And these are where you put in your talking points as the speaker. And then let's say we're going to talk about mashed potatoes. I don't know. And of course you can make that bigger. So again, the way to get to that layout was to go to the home tab here in the ribbon, go to layout, and you can switch around what kind of a layout you get for the current slide that you're on. Okay. So it's just a faster way. You could always add text boxes yourself, but it's just a faster way to have it already kind of pre-populate that stuff by choosing here. And I believe on the assessment, it asks you to insert a new section header slide. And that would be this one, right? So this slide type is a title and content. This one, if you click here, is a section header. So let's click it. And notice that it changed the format a little bit. This is the layout called section header. Okay. We looked at this one earlier. We looked at how to cut and paste, right? So I'm going to increase these. And again, right, if you wanted to take potatoes from here and you wanted to move it down, we just highlight potatoes. We hit cut. We can come down here. Let's just get our blinker in there, our cursor, and then we can hit paste. And it adds potatoes in there. Okay, so you just cut. So highlight, cut, using these scissors up here. And then again, you have to be on the home menu. If you're on any other menu here in the ribbon, you're not going to see that cut. So you need to be in the home ribbon. You want to cut, and then you just come down, put your mouse or your cursor where you want it to insert, and then hit paste. Okay. Bold highlighting text. I think most of you guys know how to do that. We just highlight. And again, from the home menu, we can just click bold right here. This B is for bold. This I is for italics. And this U is for underline. Okay. So I just want it bold. So as long as you see that that's imprinted, you know that your text is going to be bolded.
You said the I for what? Highlight?
Italics.
Oh,
See, when I click it, it just kind of slants it a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, so italics, and then the U is for underline.
Thanks.
All right, let's say we don't like this color scheme anymore. All this blue. You see all this blue down here? We got blue on this slide. Let's say we want to change our theme. That's the easiest way to kind of change the color scheme of your entire presentation is to come up here to design. So again, we're under design, and see here you have themes. I know it's probably a little small to see, but let's say you wanted to change it to organic. If I put my mouse over this one, do you see where it says organic right at the top of my screen?
Yeah.
My mouse is over and it says organic. So this is the theme called organic. So if I click it, notice how it changes all my slides here to the theme called organic. just gives it a completely different look, right? But things did move around a little bit, right? So now my text is a little bit moved around. So you'd have to come back and kind of clean it up and move things and get them adjusted. See here, this is kind of messed up now. So you just have to kind of come back
Hey,
and
stop.
clean things up if you change the theme. Okay. But that's the easiest way to change the theme, is just to come here and find the one. I believe in the assessment, it asks you to change to the one that's called organic. So again, just a review, if you wanted to change your theme, which was the entire color scheme, then you would just come here to design and we would select the one called organic. And you know it's organic because you put your mouse over it and it's called organic. All right. Let's say Zoom slide play. Okay, so if you are, let's say you want to see a little bit more space here on your slide pane. Again, what's this called over here on the left? The slide navigation pane. This is the slide pane here, the area that you're working in. But let's say you want to see more. You can always come down here in the bottom right, and you have this slider that you can click and move it back and forth. Notice right now I'm at 90%. If I hit this, if I grab it, can zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Now we're at 54%, or we can zoom back in. So that is going to be a useful tool, because sometimes you just have a lot of information on a page, or sometimes, let's say your photo, and I've seen this happen, your photo gets like out here. So now it's not even on the slide. So if I like zoom in, notice that my photo is not even on the slide. So sometimes you have to zoom out so you can see what you have available, and then you need to bring your stuff back into the slide. And then we can zoom back in and we've got our slides, okay? So that's how you zoom in and out. How would you insert a photo on a slide? Let's go look at that. I'm gonna just add a new slide here. I'm gonna get rid of this stuff. If you wanted to insert a photo from your computer, say, again,
Inside.
come up here to insert,
Yeah.
picture.
Photo picture.
And I know most of the time we've been using online pictures, but you can
Yeah.
also just click from device. And then it just opens up a folder and it says, well, can you find the photo that you want to insert? If I go here to pictures, I'm just going to insert a quick one of my family. So I just click this photo of my family. It's in my pictures folder on my computer. Just hit insert and it just inserts that photo. Okay. I can
So
shrink that. I can shrink that
so
photo, or I can make it bigger.
so if you want a two photo, you can just click two, right?
Yeah, just go right back up here, do the same thing, click photo, click device, and I'm gonna insert this one now.
Oh, okay.
And then you can just size those photos, you can move them around, right? Until you get them where you want them on the slide, like that. Okay. If you let's say you wanted, let's say you didn't want all this background on this photo, there's a function called crop. So if you're not on the photo, you don't see a menu up here for formatting your picture.
Oh, watch your
But
TV.
but once you click a picture, see here when I click the picture, you get this menu up here called picture format in the ribbon. You can click on crop. Crop is going to allow you to get rid of all that background. So crop, and notice here it gives me like these corner borders. So now I can just crop all that extra stuff out. So I'm just grabbing and I'm bringing it in because I just want the picture of the family. When I click away from it, now I have gotten rid of all that background, and now I can click the photo and expand this. And now I can see the family a little bit better, right? Just keep expanding. So did you guys see that? That's a really nice function when you have a photo that has a lot of background, but you want to just see the people or you want to see a certain feature. You can crop out all that background stuff and then you can just make it a little bit bigger there. Isn't my family funny looking? Like we're just so diverse, I think. Oh boy, I love it. So that's us. All right, let's look at the next thing. How do you delete an empty box? Let's say you have a box here and you want to delete it. Again, if you got the kind of the dotted outline of the box, you can't delete it yet. You need to click the outside of the box. See where that black plus sign came in there? See that black plus sign jump in there? I'm going to click that. When it becomes solid, then I can just hit delete on my keyboard. and it gets rid of that. So I'm going to click this one. I'm also going to hit delete there. And let's say I wanted to get rid of this one. I just click there on the outside box, hit delete on my keyboard, and it gets rid of it. There we go. So we've now deleted all the text boxes on this particular slide. Again, over here, we know this is our slide navigation pane, but I also showed you guys earlier, we also have the slide sorter down here. And again, that's just a place where you can reorder your slides, okay? Once you're done reordering them, you can come back here to the normal view, and it puts you right back at your slide navigation pane where you can edit your text.
So whenever you want to move slide, how do you call it? Slide navigation, like you want more into a slide. So you come to sort up or what?
Sorter, you can come to slide
Yeah.
sorter, and then you can move them around from here. Just click
No,
them and move, click
yeah,
and drag.
I just want to do it like the way you have many in this place to have many here. Like you first you have one, but you want more in there. You want more of these, like
More
the way I have it
slides
right
if you
now.
want to
Yeah, you
see
want
more
more.
slides.
Yeah, if you want
Yeah,
to
you
see
can
more
just zoom
slides.
out. Like you could zoom out. Let's say you had like a ton of slides. You could always zoom out, and like let me open up my mom's presentation because I had a lot of slides in that one. So I'm opening up my mom's presentation. So see here, I can see like 12 slides right now. But let's say I wanted to see like a lot more. I can just zoom out. And now I can see more slides, right? So let's say I'm like, oh, actually, I want number 44. I want that to be, number 33. You can just click and grab, just move stuff around. Yep.
Okay.
And then once you're done moving things around, because this is the easiest way to move if you have a lot of slides, right? Because you can see more. It's easier to see what you got. But once you're done, you just always come back to your normal view right here. Okay. I'm going to zoom back in, and then it's going to adjust my slides. And then I'm going to, again, because I'm done reorganizing my slides, I'm going to go ahead and hit normal view there, go back to normal view. Let's say I delete this. Let's say I hit delete, but I didn't want to delete. And I'm like, oh, shoot, actually, I did not want to delete that. And you want to go back, you can always come back up here and hit this undo button. So again, but you got to be on the home menu here in the ribbon. And you got this back button. You see that back arrow says undo clear. If I hit undo there, it undoes the last thing that I did. Right. So let's say let's say I came here and I made this some crazy font, let's go with let's say I made it congenial black. And then I'm like, you know what? Actually, I don't like that. I changed my mind. I want to go back to the original font. You can come back up here to this undo button, hit undo, and notice that it changes it back to the original format. Okay. Really nice function. So you never have to be scared of trying something because you can always undo it if it doesn't work. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, here's something we haven't done. Slide transitions. So let me just actually get our slideshow set up really quick. Primary monitor. So right now, if I do our slideshow, if I go into presentation mode, which is right here, right, this little button. So now I'm in presentation mode. Notice as I click through, there's no really slide transition. It just goes to the next slide. So I want to show you guys how to add some transitions. So to do that, we come up here to the menu for transitions, and you have a bunch of different ones here. Let's just go with wipe. So notice when I click wipe, it does a little preview or push. Notice it does a little preview. As you select each one, it kind of shows you what it's going to do. Morph, what does morph do? Oh, it kind of fades in. What about shape? It kind of zooms out. Random bars comes in like that. So once you find the transition that you like, transitions just is how you go from one slide to the next. So once you find one that you like, there's a lot more options that you can find here on this drop-down menu. including random, which is my favorite. It just changes it. It randomly does a different one every time. So let's select that one. Notice that one did like the clock. So I did random. And then to apply that to all of your slides, you want to hit apply to all right here. And now if I go back into presentation mode, notice that we get a little bit of a transition. When I look what happens when I click to go to the next slide. And I'm just left clicking on the slide. It gives me a nice transition. I'm going to click again to go to the next slide. Now we get like a down transition. One more. Nice transition. Nice transition. So just adds a little bit of flavor to the presentation when you have those transitions between slides. And that's it. So that's how you add transitions. Again, just to review, you go up here to transitions, select the one that you like. You can always choose from all of these transitions here. You can make it different on each slide if you want, but normally people just choose one and then they just do apply all, and it'll add those transitions to all your slides. We talked about etiquette at the beginning of class, so I'm not going to cover that anymore. We talked about keeping your slides brief, maybe having minimum photos and text, right? You really should be just working off of talking points and not any full sentences or paragraphs. We don't want light colors with light background, and light text is not good. You typically want to have a lot of contrast. So maybe some dark text, like we see right here, dark text with a light background, okay? Again, to get into presentation mode, and I'm wrapping up here. I know it's 7 o'clock. We're right at time. And just get 2 or 3 more points here. Presentation mode is right here again. So just come down here. You see that little, looks like a like something you would project onto a screen. So you just click that, and that puts you into presentation mode. To get out of presentation mode, you can just hit escape on your keyboard. To save your presentation, all you have to do is hit this save button up here. All the way up top, it looks like a little disc. If you put your mouse over it, it'll tell you even that that's the save button. So you can just hit save right there. Or you can always do file and then hit save right there. Lastly, the last thing to cover is how to print. So we have 7 slides here. To print, you can come to File, Print. And notice right now, it's going to be one slide. So right now I have 7 pages of slides. And right now it's going to print one slide on one page. Normally, if you're doing a presentation, you want 2 slides to print on every page. And so to do that, there's an option right here. It says full page slides. Let's click that and let's look at 2 slides. What happens when I go to 2 slides? So now it's going to print 2 slides on one piece of paper, which is nice. I prefer that. Maybe you want 3 slides. Let's click 3 slides. Now we have 3 slides per page, and it gives you a little note section. So if I was to print this out and I was the speaker, it gives all of my students an opportunity to take notes right next to my my slides. And that's pretty much it, guys. Once you get it, as many slides as you want, you can also print all slides, or you can print, you could come here and just say, I just want slides 4 through 5. And it'll only print slides 4 through 5. Notice that it changed it to custom range here. I'm gonna go back and just keep it at print all slides. We've got it at 3 slides. And then you would just hit print right there. When you hit print, it would print out, as long as you have a printer selected and installed. So that's it, guys. Are there any questions on what we covered today? We covered quite a bit, but this is your review for the assessment. So feel free to come back and review this. I'll post this video this evening.